So welcome. So thinking back to when you received your StepCap acceptance, what was the first thing that crossed your mind?
For me personally, I remember I had gotten it via email. I was literally in a McDonald's drive-thru, I remember, and I remember reading conditional acceptance, and I was like, oh my gosh, dang it. And I was like upset in the moment, but then I was like, you know what? I really, really want to go to college. I really want to get my further education, and at the time, I knew Eastern would be the better decision financially, so I decided to, go ahead and try to hear it out as best as I could, and keep an open mind about it. I remember initially I was a little bit upset.
Yeah.
I remember I found out before I got the letter from the lacrosse coach who was recruiting me. He told me for me to come, that StepCap would be the best option for me. And so at first I was kind of confused before I really looked into what the program was. And I kind of just looked at it as a summer school for kids that were bad in high school. And so I was a little disappointed in myself, and I feel like I let people down. But then as I read more on the website and through the stuff I was receiving in the mail, I saw it more as a learning opportunity than a punishment. So that kind of helped my mindset going into it.
Yeah, I got it through an actual physical letter. And so I remember being glad that at least I got into college and do something. And yeah, I knew that I was gonna have to because I applied through Common App. So I knew I was gonna have to do it. So yeah.
So it sounds like you all had some sort of sense of feeling down about it, disappointed, but then after you attended your info session about StepCap, what were your thoughts after you heard what the program was and what it had to offer?
I had a bit of a more open mind. I was still kind of a little bit hung up on the fact that it was 6 weeks out of your summer. Because obviously no student, no one is going to want to give up 6 weeks out of their summer. That's your little break that you have, especially right out of high school. But then I was kind of thinking again, back to what I said before, about I really, really wanted to go to college. I really wanted to further my education. So I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet. So after the info session, I had a lot more of an open mind. I knew for a fact that I was going to do it after the info session. So I think it was really, really beneficial for me to hear everything as an abstract, especially with Chris and, being able to experience meeting him for the first time. That was really nice.
I kind of seeing the sense of structure that would be provided was kind of eye-opening to it's already a big school and these people in this department care about you already, and we haven't even signed anything. The fact that you guys put so much effort into that one presentation for that group of kids, and then also the opportunity wasn't given to everyone, and so I didn't think it would be fair for me to say no when I really wanted to go to Eastern, or I don't know if I would have been happy with the choice if I went somewhere else just to avoid a 6-week summer course. And then maybe I would have ended up struggling more the first semester if I didn't do the summer course at somewhere else. So it was definitely hard to tell hey everyone, hey, I'm going away for 6 weeks to go study in Willimantic. But definitely looking back, it was definitely worth it and definitely a good experience.
Yeah, similar to Erik, I feel like the thought and effort that y'all put into the presentation, it not only hooked my mom onto the program, but seeing the staff and stuff hooked me. I was like, oh yeah, it also solidified that I wanted to go to Eastern. I was like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to be here for this community and this experience.
So the 6 weeks, right? So that always comes up because it's summer, all your friends are at the beach or working or hanging out. And so now thinking back to your StepCap summer and those 6 weeks, how do you feel that the experiences you had in StepCap during those 6 weeks helped you transition into your first year or even into college here at Eastern?
I think it really, really helped me. I remember in high school, I wasn't a very good student, mostly because I didn't apply myself. I believe that at the time I definitely had the ability to do much better than I did in high school. I ended with a 2.3 GPA. I was barely kind of holding it together, especially since I experienced, the COVID years and stuff like that. So it was really difficult in high school for me. But then I had originally, came to StepCap and again had the ability to take those courses, and I had all sorts of resources like the study halls, the TAs, the RAs, everyone that had already experienced StepCap, and then plus those 3 classes that we take, which really, really helped me kind of learn my study style, kind of helped me learn how I learn best, you know, and learn how to just apply myself a little bit better and a more high stakes environment, especially. That's really, really a big thing. It's a lot more of a high stakes environment than in high school, so it really pushes you. And then I think it was really, really beneficial to me because I ended up, you know, making the dean's list once I had actually gotten to college. You know, I had so many more academic achievements because of StepCap, in my opinion. I think that it just overall helped me be more confident in myself academically, learn how to apply myself more than I did in high school. And I think that if I had gone anywhere else without experiencing StepCap, then I wouldn't be in the same place that I am right now.
So you went from like a 2.3 graduation in high school to making the dean's list in college.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think going into it, like obviously 6 weeks for any kid isn't something you look forward to, being at a college when there's no one else here. But I was trying to look at it as a opportunity like to leave behind like who I was in high school, which obviously got me to a summer program, and kind of just realized that this was like an opportunity for me to be something like better academically and also as a person. I feel like StepCap did that. And like obviously like everything that for the kids that have done it throughout the years, the classroom stuff speaks for themselves. If they're still here, like it obviously works. But the social and like family atmosphere, I think, is a whole nother level. Like you'll meet people that in a normal college setting you would never even think to talk to. And then now I see them, like I have class with Emily at 9:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, and it's the same good morning that it was in July when it was 100 degrees versus 23. And just the friendships kind of help that 6 weeks go by, and you learn like a lot about different people, why people are there, why people came from, like where they came from, what made them choose to come here. I feel like that's definitely an eye-opening experience for a lot of kids.
Very cool.
Yeah, I feel like the 6 week program gave me something to like work for and like gave me something to like a goal, because like I feel like it makes me want to work harder, because like in high school I didn't really work as hard as I probably should have. Like I feel like I like coasted by a lot in high school, so I feel like coming to StepCap it was a lot more strict, so it gave me like structure that I needed, and it gave me like, okay, like you're gonna sit down, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna get it done. And I feel like that helped me now in my like fall semester, because I sit down and I work. It also gave me the study area that we worked in over the summer to like, because I feel like it's still like the same atmosphere of like this is like a workplace. I feel like it also gave me like friendships, like how Erik was saying, like the like friendly atmosphere and like family atmosphere. Like I feel like during StepCap we were all like there for each other and like getting us like encouraging each other, and I feel like it transferred over in the fall. Like we're like, come on y'all, like let's get this done, like oh like let's have a study session, like, you know.
So so a lot of what we talk about in the summer of StepCap is how this program is designed to help you all like establish and transitioning into college, but also being agents of change for your own family, younger siblings, cousins, things of that nature. So now fast forwarding, where now you're hitting the ending of your first semester in college and you're already ending your your first semester in your second year. How do you think this program has changed your life as a whole?
I think like just being part of opportunity programs in general, and you know, having you and Chris and like all these amazing people just be there for us, and then also just like creating such a community that has really, really helped like for mental health. That's really helped knowing that I have something to go to and kind of my own little community where I'm always welcome. And I really do think that, again, it's helped me a lot with discipline and kind of, you know, just having hope for myself. I definitely had a lot of like lower self-esteem before I had StepCap and before I even came to Eastern when it came to myself. And I think it really, really assisted me, and just to be a part of something, you know, bigger than what a lot of people usually have. I think that's just really helped with everything. I think it's an amazing experience, and I'm not just saying that.
I think like looking back of like the challenges that would have happened if I didn't have like the resources that we all do now, like if I have a question about something, Christina's one text away or a 5-minute walk from my dorm, and she'll sit down even if she's got a full schedule to help you. So with Chris, and then also the kids you meet, like if you have a class with someone, like you know they're there to help you, like you can go to the library, and then like just the comfort of knowing that you're not alone in some of the challenges, whether it's academically, mentally, physically. Because I feel like going away from your parents is obviously hard. But we already had a family here before we got here in the summer, or at the end of the summer. And I feel like that sense of comfort not only is good for us, but for our family. Because like, whether you're the first one in your family or the last, your parents are always gonna worry when you go to a different place. And I feel like knowing that we had people like you, Chris, and then all of our friends we made, definitely made it easy not only for ourselves, but for them, to kind of show like, you put in the work over the 6 weeks, you can do it. And then mentally that helps a lot, like knowing I went from a 1.9 to a 3.5 in 6 weeks showed that I could be here for a reason, not just to pay money and waste time.
Greg literally said what I was gonna say. Like feeling like you're not alone. Like you have so many resources that was brought to us over the 6-week program. Like earlier I saw like Dean Wilmot in the bathroom. I was like, hey. So I feel like, yeah, like in seeing Chris and Christina literally like next door, like a few steps away is like really comforting, you know?
And also like having, I know we mentioned this during orientation, but having, or Chris does it all the time, like you'll know the best bathrooms on campus and you'll know the best study places, right? And so like having that early access. So how did that make you all feel coming in your first day of classes and like you have everyone around you that's like a first year or that's new on campus and they're still learning where the buildings are, but you all are like, oh, I know where all the buildings are. And so how was that experience for you, just like coming in and knowing the whole campus?
I felt so prepared. Like, I mean, in general, I always kind of felt a lot more comfortable at Eastern, just because I'm from Willimantic. I grew up here, lived literally, you know, very, very close to campus. So I was already fairly comfortable with the campus, but at the same time, I didn't experience it before as a student. So that really, really helped, just knowing where to go, knowing what resources are available, especially since during Step Cap, we have all those like little seminars where people from different departments would come and tell them about like, you know, like psychological services and stuff like that. And just knowing a lot more than what a lot of other students do, and especially also being able to assist other first-year students with knowing what's available to them. I thought that was really, really nice. And also the fact that there's, you know, again, so many services that are available to us. And it's just the comfort of knowing that you have things available to you rather than just going in completely blindly, not knowing what you're going to do, not knowing how to go about certain things. You know, it just prepares you a lot more.
Like she was saying, definitely a whole new level of comfort, whether it was like the physical buildings or like the resources we had through different departments. And then just knowing like if you need something, there's a group for that, whether it's like CAPS if you're struggling mentally, or if we were taught our student rights, so that way if something else happens, you don't going in blind, you know you can email, you know you can go find and talk to. And then obviously it's nice like knowing the shortcuts to the class, so if you have an 8 a.m. you can wake up at 7:45. But it was definitely nice. And then also like kind of helped make friends, where you could tell people like, hey, like this is a quicker way, and then someone's like, oh, how'd you know? And then it kind of branches out and like, oh, I went to Step Cap, and then it's just a whole new friendship.
Cool.
Yeah, it was like a little bit of like a confidence thing. Like I was able to like help my friends to class, like, oh, it's just like this way, or like, oh, like this would be like quicker. And yeah, Erik's really stealing my words.
Get out of her brain, Erik. So if you could describe in 1 or 2 words who you are today because of Step Cap, what would those words be?
Confident and let's see, prepared. I think that I'm so much more well structured as a person now because of Step Cap, as I've already pretty much said. Just overall, I feel like I'm so much more confident in myself. I am now like the type of person where I'm like, oh, the worst that they could say is no. You know, I've gotten so many opportunities, such as becoming a TA, becoming a tour guide, literally because I had the confidence to be able to make that step towards trying to reach those goals. And I just kind of always went about things as like, you know, okay, if this thing doesn't happen for me, it wasn't meant to be, and the least I could do is try, you know, and that really, really helped me.
I feel like determined and disciplined. Like obviously throughout high school, sometimes I lost both those things. I'm just kind of coasting through because it was easy. And then like Step Cap kind of lit a fire underneath me to where like not everyone gets to go to college. Like most people go to high school. College is a different thing. Like, I don't want to waste an opportunity that someone else could be in my spot right now. Because I don't think that's fair to them or to myself. Because if I want to do something great, like, obviously the first step's like making it out of here successful, so I can be successful in the real world.
Yeah, I would say probably like confident, determined, because like step cap gave me like, oh, like I know I can do this. So like it was able to I've done it before, so I know I can do it now. And then determined because I want to keep doing it and I want to keep being here and doing great.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me and talking about step cap and your experiences.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
No problem. Thank you for having us.